All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the channel, man. We are on the Do You Remember channel. I'll leave it in the description for you guys to check out more videos. But we got Married with Children officially ended after this happened. I can't remember if I knew or if I didn't know. Or if I don't know. But we're going to check this out. Man, love this show. Brother Ed O'Neill, Al Bundy was... This show used to be hilarious. A lot of people say he says a lot of things we be thinking. That's what he say, or people say. But all right, we're going to check this out. Again, appreciate all the love and support. We ain't going to waste no more time. Let's jump right into it.
If there's one thing Married with Children taught us, it's that love and marriage go together like a horse and carriage. Well, old Frankie Blue Eyes taught us that each week with the theme song. The actual show was a bit different.
That's very touching, honey. Now rub my feet.
Peggy, I wouldn't rub your feet if a genie popped out of them.
Try and separate Married from its risque premise, and you wouldn't really have a show at all. So just how did we get the most memorable sitcom that pushed all the boundaries? Turns out a lot happened behind the scenes. And although this show put a network on the map, some episodes were too racy to make. And haters of the show had a part in saving the series. I'm your host, Nostalgic Nick, and it's time to go behind the display and check out the secrets in the back. If the shoe fits, be sure to give this video a thumbs up for us, and subscribe to the channel so you never miss a throwback video. But without further ado, let's rock. The cast shuffle. Ed O'Neill's gruff lewdness and Katie Seagal's long-suffering sarcasm are practically synonymous with this show.
Well, everyone in high school said no one was stupid enough to marry the big redhead.
But these things don't materialize in their final form right away. When show creators Michael G. Moy and Ron Levitt pitched their sitcom idea, they envisioned Sam Kinison and Roseanne Barr as Al and Peggy.
Oh, that would have been, oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. I was pausing it to say something, but as he said that, whoa. What was I going to say? Oh, if you're watching this video and it's in a smaller frame, I had to shrink it because it might have got blocked. Just letting y'all know. Because a lot of times when they show clips like this, that's what happened. When I reacted like funny moments and all that, it happened. Could y'all imagine those two? Woo!
Kinison, famous for his loud, charismatic preaching. And building a friendship with Robin Williams and Jim Carrey via stand-up at the Comedy Store. And Roseanne Barr, the other side of the crass coin, was a rising comedy star at the time, but both told show creators that they were aiming for movie gigs. Though Barr would get her own sitcom just a year after Married with Children debuted. Michael Richards, famous for his wacky entrances and mannerisms as Jerry's neighbor Kramer on Seinfeld. But years before, he auditioned to play Al, but didn't quite fit. Instead, the showrunners happened to see Ed O'Neill play Lenny in a Hartford production of Steinbeck's Of Mice and Men. And then O'Neill auditioned with something special. 80% of the men who auditioned for Al played him like Jackie Gleason from The Honeymooners.
This idiot's got the gall to come down here and put the late show on when I'm trying to get to sleep and I gotta go to work tomorrow.
And 20% acted like Jack from The Shining. Here's Bundy. It just doesn't work. O'Neill put his own twist on Al by sighing and slumping his shoulders before going into his home. And the sheer dejection as he entered won him the role. No one ever saw the unaired pilot, but we had some different Bundys. Originally, Tina Caspary played Kelly, and Hunter Carson played Bud Bundy. And we know Christina Applegate and David Faustino took the roles permanently, which rounded out this perfectly imperfect family. Married with Fox. It's 7 o'clock in the evening on April 5th, 1987. It's Sunday, so a full work week is just around the corner. And on TV, something historic is happening. Fox makes its primetime network debut with a new sitcom, Married with Children, partnered with The Tracy Ullman Show. And the pair got replayed again at 9 p.m. for those who were putting the kids down at 7. And from beginning with history to ending with some too. The final episode aired on June 9th, 1997.
That's one desperate little chimp, huh?
Compiling 259 original episodes, making it the longest-running live-action series in the network's history. It was also the longest-running show that never won an award, until Baywatch ended, so yay? And we also have a Baywatch cast rewind if you were a fan of the slow-mo run as much as Al Bundy was. The Gall of Seagal. Just as Archie Bunker had Maud to keep him in check, Al Bundy had Peggy.
You're gonna start nagging about this, aren't you?
I do not nag!
All right.
Though instead of keeping each other in check, it was more of an endless feedback loop of humanity's worst vices. Bloody brilliant. Peggy doesn't make life easy for Al, like a sheer refusal to cook or clean or do a lot of things. And that was all more absurd thanks to Katie Seagal's genius ideas for her character. When Seagal auditioned for the role, she had this idea to dress Peggy like a parody of a 1960s housewife. So she brought in her own bouffant wig and a 1960s waitress attire, and the producers loved it. And the look was completed with capri leggings, clunky belt, and skinny heels. The budget didn't allow for a dedicated wig for 3 whole seasons, so before then, Peggy stayed a brunette. Working with children. When the word children is in the show title, you know what you're getting.
Well, Al, didn't you notice I was getting fat?
Well, yeah.
And Katie Seagal's real-life pregnancy highlighted this, and the showrunners worked it into season 6. But sadly, Katie Seagal miscarried. The show addressed this sudden loss by calling it all a nightmare that Al had. It was such a dark topic covered in a clever way. Seagal became pregnant 2 more times during the show, but they decided to go in a hide-the-stomach angle rather than embrace it. No bad press.
Didn't know that.
Some of the most iconic pieces of entertainment history got pretty rough starts. MASH was 46th in the ratings for season 1, before climbing to the 4th spot for season 2. The Addams Family only lasted 2 seasons, and became more popular as time went on.
Really?
Married with Children was no exception. In fact, during season 1, David Faustino went to a crowded mall wearing a shirt with the show's logo, and no one approached him. But don't worry, a divine power was looking after the show. Beer? No. A hater. Family values activist Terry Ricolta was so disgusted by how raunchy and immoral the show was. They started a letter-writing campaign, complaining about how the series would corrupt the American family. Specifically, she was appalled by the episode Her Cups Runneth Over, full of lingerie, crude humor, and unsolicited groping. And they did well. Their complaints got a lot of news coverage, which in turn brought fresh eyes to the hysterical dumpster fire that was happening over on Fox. Oh, the power of free publicity. You know who was a fan of the show? Bond. James Bond.
Bond. James Bond.
Well, technically Sir Roger Moore, but same thing. He called the sitcom a guilty pleasure. Plus, he had to support Katie Seagal, the daughter of late director Boris Seagal, and one of Moore's closest friends. We're in good company, Em. A conflicted cast. Amanda Burse, who played next-door neighbor Marcy, had a few things in common with her character. The biggest was that she and Ed O'Neill didn't get along swimmingly in real life. They respected each other, but by season 3 they were pretty much staying apart, due to frequent arguments. And when Burse came out as gay, O'Neill did support her, but neither he nor David Faustino were invited to her wedding. Burse stated that she was afraid that they would laugh at the sight of 2 women in tuxedos, and Ed O'Neill has confirmed that he probably would have. Some battles happened on set too, like between Katie Seagal and Buck the dog, who kept trying to make some unwanted moves on Seagal's leg. It got so bad, producers were ready to fire Buck and the owner, and play the dog like a bad dream too.
Wait a minute. I'm not an eagle.
Too hot for TV. Former President George Bush once told Americans to be like the Waltons. What he also could have said was, don't be like the Bundys. Al and Bud could be a tag team of taboo behavior between groping women, fondling mannequins, and Al's rivalry with feminists and gay people. Even its premiere raised a few eyebrows. But others watched for this scandalous behavior. And once, Fox even had to put its foot down for the season 3 episode, I'll See You in Court. Originally slated for the 1989 season, but necessary censor edits pushed it all the way back to 2002. Some countries got an uncut version of I'll See You in Court.
I want to have sex on the kitchen table.
I want to have a meal on the kitchen table.
In which the Bundy parents try to shake up their love life at an inn. That made recordings of people being intimate, including the Bundys and the Rhodes. Killer tribute. Let's set the record straight. One popular myth states that Al's last name came from the infamous serial killer Ted Bundy, when in reality, the Bundy show creators were nodding to was pro wrestler King Kong Bundy. Who actually has 2 appearances on the show. First as himself, then as Uncle Irwin. The Rhodes got similar treatment, named after another pro wrestler, Dusty Rhodes. Speaking of tie-ins with other famous icons, watch the opening credits and you'll see cars driving on the interstate. That clip is taken directly from National Lampoon's Vacation. You can even see the Griswold station wagon. And I think the Griswolds would get along with the Bundys. As for Marcy Darcy's name, that's inspired by the name of Marcy Carsey, a producer of The Cosbys. You see, when Married with Children was still in its very early days of production, its working title was Not the Cosbys. The goal was to create a sitcom family that was not polished or idyllic, and boy did they succeed. Married with Children delivered a whole lot of laughs and memorable moments. It's hard to believe a show like this even came to exist, and it's serendipitous that the haters would be the ones to help save it. So tell us, what was a great episode of this honest comedy? Do you know a piece of trivia that we forgot? Well, tell us in the comments below. We read them all. And don't worry about spelling Al's name wrong. He's used to it. If you enjoyed this video, remember to give it a thumbs up for us. And if you haven't already, subscribe to our channel so you can crack open a cold one and enjoy our next deep dive. From all of us here at Do You Remember, thanks so much for watching.
Hey man, that was so many Easter eggs and stuff I never knew. My goodness. Wow. You know, a lot of people do that. They do little nods and like shout outs to what's inspired them. Like I never knew that was National Lampoon's like the station wagon. It's like I don't even think I ever really even paid to that. You just pay attention to that. The song come on, Love and Marriage. Again, I'm apologize if I got to make this small. I got to do what I got to do to keep the video up. But boy, this was a lot of information. I mean, my goodness. I'm going to check out this other video from them. But did you guys know all that? Do you remember? No. All right, hey. Appreciate y'all coming over and watching, man. Peace out.